Tonight is not an ordinary night, and you chosen one were never meant to live an ordinary life. The hour is sacred. The air has shifted. Heaven has issued a summons, and your name is upon it. Not written in ink, but in fire. Not whispered, but thundered through the silence of your soul. There is a weight in your chest that words cannot explain, a stirring beneath your breath, a holy unrest that refuses to be silenced. That is not anxiety. It is not confusion. It is the voice of the Most High calling you out of hiding and into alignment. You have been marked, not by man, not by circumstance, but by the very hand of God. From the foundations of time, your existence was appointed for moments like this. You were not born to wander in fog or sleep through destiny. You were set apart to respond to divine timing with obedience, not hesitation. And now the hour has come. Delay is no longer a matter of uncertainty. It is a form of rebellion. To wait now is to turn away from the fire that was placed within you. You have been given too much, seen too much, known too much, to return to a life of spiritual slumber. Chosen one, this moment is not about inspiration. It is about activation. The breath of God is pressing against your ribs, awakening what has long been dormant. There is no more room for lukewarm allegiance or spiritual indecision. Tonight, heaven is demanding a response. You cannot stay where you were and walk where you are called. The hour requires movement, consecration, alignment. Your silence will no longer protect you. Your delay will no longer excuse you. You may still ask, "Is this really for me?" And heaven answers, "It has always been you." No one is coming to carry this fire for you because God Himself placed it in your bones. There is a fire approaching you, chosen one. Not the fire of judgment, but of purification. Not the fire of wrath, but of refinement. It does not come to comfort, it comes to divide. Tonight heaven releases a holy fire, designed to separate what is true from what is false, what is divine from what is counterfeit, what is surrendered from what still resists. You, chosen one, are standing at the threshold of this divine purging. This is not symbolic. This is spiritual law in motion, and the fire will test everything. This flame has been sent not merely to touch the atmosphere around you, but to consume the altars within you. Altars you didn't know. You built altars to comfort, to compromise, to silence. The God who calls you is a consuming fire, and He will not share His temple with anything impure. What once blended in will now be exposed. What once could remain hidden will be brought to the surface. In this hour, no mask will remain unburned. No secret will go untouched. No double life will survive the heat. As C.S. Lewis wrote in The Problem of Pain, God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pains. It is His megaphone to rouse a deaf world. This truth illuminates the fire's purpose. The consuming flame is God's shout through your pain, rousing your spirit to expose and purify hidden altars, ensuring your heart becomes a pure temple for His presence. Chosen one, you must understand, this fire is mercy. It arrives not to destroy you, but to deliver you, to free you from every entanglement that has dulled your discernment, every attachment that has diluted your strength. People, patterns, and places that once felt familiar may suddenly feel foreign. This is not confusion. This is the Spirit of God, severing ties that heaven never signed off on. Do not grieve what He removes. Do not resist what He reveals. The fire is not coming to ask your permission. It is coming to prepare you for your commission. And as the fire moves through your life, do not be surprised when it reveals the true nature of those around you. Some who stood beside you will not withstand the heat. Some who spoke like saints will be exposed as shadows. But let your heart not tremble, for this is the hour of holy separation. God is not just refining you. He is clearing the path before you. He is burning bridges He never built. He is collapsing alliances He never blessed. Why? because the chosen one cannot walk into destiny bound to yesterday's chains. The fire is coming, and it will not miss you. It will touch everything that belongs to you, everything you have hidden, everything you thought you buried. But when it is finished, you will rise from the ashes unshackled, unmistakable, and unafraid. You will not be the same, and you were never meant to be. Chosen one, the transformation that has begun within you will not remain hidden. What God ignites in secret will manifest in the open. This is not a symbolic shift, nor a quiet internal rearrangement. This is a visible, tangible, undeniable move of heaven that will mark every layer of your being. Your thoughts, your body, your voice, your presence. What once lived only as hope within your prayers is now preparing to take form in your very posture. The change will be felt before it is fully understood. It will ripple through your nerves, your breath, your blood. Your body will respond before your mind can comprehend it. Energy will awaken where fatigue once lived. Stillness will rise where chaos once ruled. The heaviness that settled over your shoulders in past seasons will lift, not because the burdens are gone, but because you are being fortified to carry the weight of glory. Your very frame is being recalibrated to host more of God's Spirit, more of His wisdom, more of His presence. You are becoming a vessel of fire, a temple that carries divine resonance in every step. And because this transformation begins from within, it will demand attention without ever asking for it. You will not need to explain yourself. Your very presence will speak for you. Environments will shift when you enter. Conversations will change when you open your mouth. You are not stepping into this world as who you were. You are emerging as who you truly are, cleansed by fire, awakened by truth, consecrated by purpose. Make no mistake, this change is not optional, and it is not gentle. The Spirit of the Lord does not renovate, He rebuilds. He tears down what is weak, so He can raise up what is holy. Every layer of your identity that was built on fear, survival, or shame is being dismantled, and what rises in its place is something eternal, crafted not by man but by the hands of the potter himself. You may feel out of place. You may feel disoriented. That is to be expected. Transformation always creates tension between who you've been and who you are becoming. But do not resist the tension, embrace it. It is the stretching of destiny within you. It is the sound of chains breaking and foundations being reset. You are not losing control. You are gaining alignment. And soon others will notice. Some will be drawn to the light in you. Others will be repelled by it. Do not shrink for the comfort of those still asleep. Do not apologize for the fire you carry. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to burn. There is a knowledge within you, chosen one, that the world could never teach. It is not learned through books, experience, or intellect. It is embedded in the essence of your spirit. Tonight, that divine intelligence is being awakened. It is the clarity that only heaven can give, the kind that comes not from logic, but from revelation. God is not simply renewing your strength, He is sharpening your sight. C.S. Lewis, in letters to Malcolm chiefly on prayer, wrote, "We may ignore, but we can nowhere evade the presence of God. The world is crowded with Him. He walks everywhere, incognito." This insight affirms the divine clarity awakening within you. The revelation sharpening your sight is God's inescapable presence, guiding your discernment to see His truth beyond the world's illusions, aligning you with His eternal wisdom. This is not the clarity of the natural mind, but the piercing wisdom of the Spirit. What once felt confusing will begin to make perfect sense. What once overwhelmed you will now fall into divine order. The fog that covered your understanding is being burned away by light from another realm, and with that light comes direction. Where once you second-guessed every step, now you will move with confidence, not because you understand every outcome, but because you finally trust the one who is leading you. Chosen one, your discernment is being refined like silver in fire. You will begin to see beyond what is spoken, feel what is hidden behind the surface. You will sense alignment before opportunities arrive and detect deception before it takes form. This is not paranoia. It is divine perception. It is the Spirit of God tuning your inner compass to His frequency. He is not simply helping you survive. He is training you to lead. As your soul awakens, old questions will die. The need for constant validation will vanish. You will no longer chase approval from voices that were never assigned to your destiny. The opinions of men will lose their grip because the voice of God will rise above them all. And when that voice speaks, it will come not as a suggestion but as a command. You will no longer ask, "Am I ready?" but instead, "What must I do next?" Clarity, when it comes from God, does not always bring comfort. It brings movement. It exposes what must go, it challenges what must change, and it summons who you were always meant to be. You will see your past through new eyes, and where you once asked, "Why did this happen?" you will begin to say, "Thank you," for even the pain was part of the preparation. Even the delay was training your spirit to discern. This awakening is not sentimental. It is surgical. God is severing every false identity you've worn, every label that came from trauma and not truth. He is reminding you who you were before the world spoke. And as the veil lifts, so does your limitation. The thoughts that once held you hostage will lose their voice. The lies that once dictated your steps will dissolve in the light. This is the moment when your soul catches up to your spirit, and nothing, not fear, not failure, not even your past, can stop what's coming next. You were not simply born, you were encoded. Before your first breath, before your name was spoken by human lips, heaven inscribed purpose into your being. Chosen one, you carry in your very blood the instructions of divine design. And now, in this hour, God is awakening what has been buried in silence, hidden beneath pain, and dulled by delay. This is not inspiration. It is activation. The Spirit of God is breathing on what the world could not see and what hell could not destroy. There are chambers in your being that have never been touched by man, yet they are known by God. These are the sacred places where calling lives, where gifts rest dormant until the appointed time. That time is now. The deep places are stirring. The strands of your divine identity are aligning. Your spirit is receiving a signal it was created to recognize. And as heaven speaks, your body responds not with noise but with movement. Sensations may rise. Heat in your hands, pressure in your chest, tingling through your limbs. Do not fear them. These are not symptoms of confusion, they are signs of convergence. The earthly and the eternal are meeting within you. Chosen one, you were not built for passivity. You were formed for impact. What others call instinct you will know as divine knowing. What others miss you will sense. And where others waver, you will stand still because your direction no longer comes from outside influence, but from encoded alignment. God is awakening not only your purpose, but your pattern. You will no longer operate from reaction. You will move from revelation. Your decisions will not be driven by fear, but by prophecy. Because what He placed in you is not theory. It is truth encoded in your very being. This is not mystical. It is intentional. Your DNA was never just biological, it was spiritual. You have always carried layers of discernment, healing, wisdom, and intercession that the world could not explain. That is why you never fully fit. That is why your soul ached in places others could not feel. You were never designed to blend in. You were born to break cycles, to speak things into being, to sense danger before it arrives, and to awaken those still asleep. But with this activation comes responsibility. You cannot return to numbness. You cannot pretend not to see. Once your DNA has been unlocked, your life becomes a message. Your body becomes a vessel. Your voice becomes a trumpet. And your choices become portals. What you say, how you move, where you go, will either invite heaven or repel it. You are not just changing, you are carrying change. And every step you take now echoes in eternity. This is the mystery revealed. You were not just created by God, you were embedded with God. The mark of the divine is not just upon you, it is within you. And now that it has been awakened, it cannot be silenced. There is no middle ground left, chosen one. The days of wavering are over. The veil has been torn, the line has been drawn, and neutrality has expired. This is not a season of suggestion, it is a season of summons. God is not asking for a portion of your loyalty. He is demanding all of it. You were not selected for safety. You were not awakened to remain half alive. You were called to burn, to carry a flame that leaves no room for compromise. C.S. Lewis in the Screwtape Letters wrote, "The safest road to hell is the gradual one, the gentle slope, soft underfoot, without sudden turnings, without milestones, without signposts. This warning unveils the peril of middle ground. Wavering in this hour is a gradual drift towards spiritual decay, but your full surrender to God's summons marks a milestone of alignment, ensuring your path burns with divine purpose. This moment in time is not casual, it is calculated. Heaven has set this hour apart to reveal who truly belongs to the light and who still clings to shadows. And you, chosen one, are being positioned not just to survive the distinction, but to embody it. You will not walk both paths. You cannot serve two masters. What once seemed tolerable, lukewarm allegiance, delayed obedience, spiritual double living, will now become unbearable. The spirit within you will no longer allow mixture to dwell. The fire that has been awakened in your bones demands purity. It demands clarity. It demands decision. The middle ground is where destinies decay. It is where vision dies, where anointings are diluted, where calling becomes a concept instead of a command. But you were not called to that place. You were called to the mountain, to the battlefield, to the upper room. And now, the Spirit of the Lord is requiring you to step fully into alignment. No more hiding your fire to make others comfortable. No more silencing your discernment to avoid conflict. No more apologizing for the intensity of your calling. Understand, this remaining undecided in this hour is itself a decision, and it is one that carries eternal weight. The enemy is not intimidated by half-hearted believers. He is only threatened by the fully surrendered, and that is who you must now become. God is not looking for the convenient. He is looking for the consecrated. He is searching for those who will say yes, even when the cost is high, even when the path is narrow, even when the room grows quiet. Chosen one, this is your line in the sand. The Spirit has drawn it clearly, and now you must cross it, not with hesitation, but with holy fear, not with pride, but with surrender. Because on the other side of this decision is authority. You have never carried clarity. You have never known and power. You were born to release. But it cannot rest on a divided heart. It cannot flow through a conflicted vessel. And so tonight heaven asks you plainly, are you all in? Your answer will shape nations. Your obedience will shift generations. And your yes will echo through the halls of eternity. Chosen one, you were not awakened for personal comfort. You were not marked for private revelation alone. The fire placed within you was never meant to remain contained. It was meant to ignite the generation around you. Heaven does not call without purpose. And you who have been summoned in this sacred hour have been entrusted with more than personal breakthrough. You have been entrusted with a mantle. This mantle is not a metaphor. It is not a poetic image. It is the weight of divine responsibility resting upon your shoulders, a spiritual assignment written into the fabric of your soul. It is why you have survived what others did not. It is why your process was longer, your pain deeper, your battles more brutal. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. The delay was training. The silence was sharpening. The isolation was a hidden classroom, and now the teacher has called you forward. You were never meant to blend in with your surroundings. You were designed to transform them. The mantle you carry is not for attention, it is for alignment. You will carry deliverance in your voice, healing in your hands, and strategy in your spirit. You will walk into places Others avoid and speak what others are afraid to say. And it will not be by might. It will not be by charisma. It will be by the Spirit of the living God, who now rests upon you without measure. Your assignment is generational. Your decisions will ripple beyond your own timeline. There are chains that will break, not because of what you say tomorrow, but because of how you obey today. There are children unborn whose freedom is tied to your courage. There are cities waiting for your alignment. The enemy knew this, which is why he fought your identity before you even understood it. But heaven is no longer allowing delay. The time for wandering is over. You are being activated as a voice, a vessel, and a vanguard. Legacy is no longer a distant idea. It is forming now in real time through every response you give to God. The way you rise, the way you walk, the way you carry the fire. These are the seeds that will outlive you. You are not here to chase status. You are here to birth movements. You are not here to gather followers. You are here to raise standard bearers, those who walk in truth, because they saw it modeled in your life. So take your place, chosen one. Heaven is watching. Hell is trembling. And generations are waiting. You are not just a believer. You are a builder. You are not just anointed. You are appointed. And your obedience in this hour will echo long after your name is forgotten. For the legacy you leave will not be written in history books, but in heaven's scrolls. Chosen one, hear this clearly. Once God awakens you, there is no return to who you were. The change that is now unfolding within you is irreversible. Heaven has placed a seal upon your spirit, a divine mark that cannot be erased, denied, or undone. You can no longer unsee what you've been shown. You can no longer unknow what your spirit now carries. What has been ignited in you is eternal, and it demands forward motion. This is not a season of transformation. It is a lifetime of commissioning. The fire in your bones will not let you go back to small thinking, empty rituals, or false identities. You have tasted something holy, something real, and no imitation will ever satisfy you again. Your spirit has been branded by truth, and everything counterfeit now stings. Your discernment is too sharp, your conscience too awakened. You can no longer tolerate what once felt normal, and that dissonance is not discomfort, it is divine design. Every step you take now must reflect the weight of what you carry. This is not about perfection, it is about posture. Heaven is not requiring flawlessness, but surrender. You are not being called to impress. You are being called to embody. The glory resting on you will not be hidden. Whether in silence or in motion, your presence will confront atmospheres. Your life will speak, even when your lips do not. Why? Because you are no longer functioning as a person trying to find purpose. You are now functioning as one who is purpose. This is why your steps will feel heavier. This is why your choices will carry more consequence. You are no longer operating in a private season of testing. You are standing in a public season of manifestation. And that requires you to move with precision, with reverence, with authority. The seal upon you is not symbolic. It is spiritual. It is heaven's confirmation that the transition has occurred. The veil is lifted. The gate is closed. The old season is no longer available to you. Others may still linger in indecision. Others may return to comfort. But you cannot. You were not called to repeat cycles. You were called to break them. You were not awakened to manage dysfunction. You were anointed to end it. There is no going back to old patterns, old habits, old excuses. You have outgrown them. And the Spirit of God will no longer allow you to shrink to fit what He has already shattered. So walk forward not with fear, but with fire. Walk in the knowledge that you have been sealed by heaven, sent with purpose and guarded by glory. Let your posture speak. What words cannot I have been changed? I have been awakened, and I will never be the same. Chosen one, there is now a shift in the atmosphere surrounding you, because heaven has activated something within you that creation itself recognizes. The earth is not deaf to destiny. Nature groans for sons and daughters of glory to arise. And now that you have risen, now that the fire in your bones has been acknowledged and awakened, everything around you must adjust. The moment you step into alignment, realms move. Do not be surprised when environments shift as you enter. Do not be confused when certain doors close without explanation or people pull away without cause. You are no longer walking in natural time. You are walking in divine rhythm. The favor you carry will attract alignment and repel resistance. The authority you now wear will disturb atmospheres of deception. The Spirit of God upon you will expose what cannot stand in truth. This is why you cannot afford to walk aimlessly. Every step you take releases either life or silence, breakthrough or compromise, and the earth will mirror what you carry. Your surroundings are responding not to your words but to your weight. This is the evidence that your movement is no longer human, it is prophetic. Heaven has placed an assignment on your path, and as you walk, chains will break. Not because you shout, but because your obedience shakes the unseen. Chosen one, you are now a signal. You are a walking summons for divine disruption. Where you go, the Spirit will follow. Where you pause, angels will gather. Where you speak, things will shift. And where you remain silent, heaven will still move through your presence. You are not merely living, you are legislating. Not through politics or platforms, but through posture, through the fire you host, through the Spirit you carry. Let this truth settle in your spirit. The enemy fears your movement, because every time you move in obedience, his grip weakens. Every time you speak in alignment, his lies unravel. And every time you stand without fear, territory is taken. This is why hell fought you so violently. This is why confusion, fear, and delay tried to suffocate you. Because your existence, when aligned, is warfare. Your presence, when surrendered, is revolution. Now, as you rise, know this: you are no longer optional. You are necessary. You are no longer hidden. You are revealed. And you are no longer wondering if you were chosen. You are now walking as the evidence that you are chosen one. This is the moment of divine accountability. Everything that has been spoken over you, awakened within you, and sealed upon you now demands a response. You have not been brought this far for reflection. You have been brought here for action. Heaven has issued a charge, and your soul knows it. You are not being invited to consider your calling. You are being commanded to walk in it. You are no longer hidden. You are no longer uncertain. You are no longer waiting for a sign. You are the sign. There can be no backward glance. What lies behind you, old patterns, old identities, old fears, no longer belongs to you. The places you once tolerated, the doubts you once entertained, and the compromises you once allowed cannot come with you into what God is doing now. To look back is to forfeit the future. You must walk forward with full surrender, understanding that everything that once anchored you to delay has been cut loose. The weight is gone. The wilderness is over. You are no longer surviving. You are stepping into divine movement. Do not expect comfort. Expect fire. Expect resistance, but expect glory. The enemy knows what has been activated in you, which is why he will attempt to distract, discourage, and destabilize. But hear this truth: no weapon formed against you can prosper when your steps are ordered by the one who formed the stars. You carry the presence of the living God, and that presence is your authority. When you speak, atmospheres will respond. When you move, spiritual walls will crumble. You are no longer operating in borrowed identity. You are moving in established anointing. This final charge is not just about your next steps. It is about the generations behind you. Your obedience will echo long after your voice is gone. Your alignment will open doors for others to pass through. Your legacy will not be written in headlines or platforms, but in the hearts of those who are set free because you said yes. You are not just called, you are commissioned. And with commission comes weight, responsibility, and holy fire. So go forward, not as someone asking for permission, but as someone who has already been released. You are not hoping to be chosen. You are walking as one who has been. Let every step carry the fire. Let every word carry the weight of heaven. Let your life become the evidence that God still awakens, still sends, still empowers. You are the shift. You are the vessel. You are the answered prayer. Do not look back. Do not shrink. Do not forget who you are. You have been awakened. You have been trusted. You have been sent. Now go, chosen one, and let the world see the glory of the one who lives within you.